So this is a quick video on hard drives, storage, transferring footage, archiving footage, backing up footage, and what we do here at StoryKing. And I want to know what you do. Let's jump in. And before I get too far in this, I'm just going to say this was going to be part of a different video, a longer vlog video, and I decided, you know, I'm just going to make this its own thing. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, now to dump footage. So we shot on the Blazer Remus Anamorphics for this project. Got the Angelbird CF Express A for the FX6, and then just regular SD cards for the FX3. So, and I don't know if anybody else has this issue with these cards, but they're black and you can't see them. So I took some white marker pen and drew white on there so I can actually see, because I can't tell you how many times I've left this card in the card reader because it's impossible to see that it's in here when it's all black. So I put that on there. That way I'm like, hey, there's something white sticking out. Get your card, put it in your camera. Don't forget it. I have gone to shoots and forgot this card and had to record on regular SD cards, which isn't the greatest on the FX6. So the process I use for offloading is I go to the drive. On the drive, we have a jobs media folder, and then all the jobs that are on that drive go in there. And we use big 12 terabyte, 16 terabyte drives to store everything. Then we have SSDs, internal, that we copy the active projects we're editing to. That way it's fast for editing. And then we back everything up to a second hard drive, and then we back everything up also to the cloud with Backblaze. So it's all there. Copy and paste my folder template, and I'm gonna call it PUSD pickups, because we shot for 3 different video projects and they each already have their own folders. So I'm just gonna say PUSD pickups, and I'm gonna say 8/23/24, so we know when that was. And then we just go to the video folder and we browse to our clips. Yep, that's the right stuff, and we drop it on. This is literally what I do. I drop everything on. I don't use a fancy transfer program. I know that's a thing. I know I could do it, but I don't. I copy everything, paste. But then, because I don't use a fancy transfer program, and I want to make sure I copied everything, once everything is copied and it's done, I will go through and copy it a second time to make sure that there were no errors, files got dropped off in transfer. And so copying it a second time, and then you say, you know, skip anything that's already there, you know, whatever. And because sometimes you don't select a file, or it'll drop a file in the transfer. I've had it happen where, because I went and manually selected and I only tried to copy it once, so I copy it twice, just to make sure that it's all there, it's transferred. And once I know it's copied twice, the card goes in the bin, and then I basically will just keep these cards as long as I can. So like our last couple shoots cards are in here. And then once it's been in the bin for a little while, it goes to another bin. And then once we finally need to delete, you know, cards for shoots, we pull from that other bin, but we leave, you know, our kind of active bin. That way recent shoots are not getting wiped. We're starting the edit. I like to always have gotten into the edit and been like, we've looked at the timeline, we know we're not missing anything, and then at that point, I'm okay to delete the cards, because they're backed, everything's backed up in 3 places. By the time we get to that stage, everything's backed up in 3 places, and so, you know, if there's a problem, there was a problem, and there's nothing you can do about it because you got everything off the cards. Which reminds me, I left the Rode Pros in the van because I have not unloaded those yet, and I need to grab those and grab the audio off of those, because it's a backup recording in case there was any issues with the audio running into the FX6. So go grab those. So just to show you real quick, this is my little editing setup I have at the moment. I still need to mount my TV screen and my speakers. Just deciding if I like them here, even though they've been there for like 3 months. But I was going to show you this. This is just a Google spreadsheet that I made for myself, and this is how I block my time during my week. So I just have a basic schedule, and then I just make copies and copies of this, and I just track whatever's happening in a given week on the time blocks, and then I can, just kind of roll on, and I have templates in here, of stuff. Another plus of a big white van is now you have a big white background for all your videos. So if you need to make a video against something, just go make a video against the van. I did not unload the whole van. I unloaded the cameras and audio. I go start dumping everything. And once everything is dumping, because sometimes that can be a long process. If you had a lot of shoot, if you get a lot of cameras or whatever, like sometimes it's quick. Today it's actually quick. But after I start the dump, then I'll come back out and do the unloading. So now that the first file transfer is completed, I will just go again, select all, drop it back over, yay, skip anything that's already there, boom. And same thing with the other card, do that, skip what's there, boom. Not the most scientific way to do it. Tell me in the comments, how do you transfer files? How do you transfer your files? That's what I want to know, because this is the way I'm doing it, and it works for me. And I know there's a million ways to transfer files, and there's a lot of right ways, and there's a lot of wrong ways. Like the difference between copy and move. I can remember the first feature film I worked on. The DP, at the end of the day, was transferring the footage over, and he did move, not copy. And while the footage was transferring, somebody pulled a plug, and as we were cleaning up at the end of the day, and from across the room, it was plugged in, there were so many things wrong, right? Move instead of copy. Laptop is plugged in, or computer, whatever it was, from across the room, not standing right next to an outlet, plugged into that outlet, just some random extension cord from across the room. Like, a lot of things had to go wrong for this to happen, but lost the footage for the day because of move instead of copy. Always, always copy, because a copy can be interrupted and it doesn't affect your original, but a move will have a problem. So this is a PC. We've been primarily on Macs. I recently switched to PC because we needed the power, and I actually went out and bought, one of the fancy Mac studios because I've been Mac for a long time, and it just didn't cut the mustard. And we were like, really? I paid $2,500 for this, and this is the performance I'm getting? And so Mike's like, let's make a PC. And I went, great, go for it. And so Mike and another guy, Carson, that was working with us at the time, they built this monster of a PC for less than like $2,000. And I ended up just taking over the PC, and now it's my workstation. Since we closed the studio and Mike doesn't have to sit here and work on this anymore, and we're all working remote from home now, which has been fantastic. Mike and I were just talking, it's been 9 months since we closed the studio and went remote. The transition was rough, just to pare down from a 1,400 square foot studio space into working from home, but it's been great. I love it. I love being home, being around the kids and all this stuff. Anyways, what I was gonna show you is backups. So on a PC, we use free file sync because it's free and it works, and why not, right? So I have a couple projects here. This is drive 62. So I just go to hit compare on drive 62, and it will go through and say, hey, here's the new stuff, all highlighted in green here. Boom, that's new. You should sync that over. And I just hit update, and then it will just go and update and do whatever. So I use a mirrored drive system. I don't use RAIDs. I don't like RAIDs. I don't trust RAIDs. RAIDs have problems. They're great when they work, but when they don't work, they're a pain. And so I don't like RAIDs. So I opt for pairs of drives. So we synchronize them with the software, which will then sync over everything and any new updates, project files, and all this stuff. And then we also sync everything up to Backblaze, so that keeps files well synchronized. Anyway, that's what I'm doing for my file transfer and backup solutions. What are you guys doing? I would love to know. How do you guys dump your footage? how do you keep it safe, backups, multiple drives, whatever. How do you store it? Do you do long-term storage? I'll show you one more thing. So actually one more thing before the one more thing. This is our drive box that we use for the active drives that we're keeping next to our PC. So we can keep it's a 5-drive bay. And so that's how we're working now. And these are all like 16 terabyte drives. And so you can see they're, A61, B61. So they're paired and they're labeled that way. But this is what I was really going to show you. This is my hard drive archive. It's 2 layers deep with lots and lots and lots and lots of hard drives. So starting somewhere around drive 30, they're all pairs. So there's probably 90 hard drives. Got a few more up there too. These are kind of slow to edit off of, which is why we have faster internal drives, but they're fantastic for archives because they're cheap. And then we just spin them up every now and again so that, that they stay alive. As clients have a project or need something, we'll do that. Yeah. So tell me, I'm dying to know, how do you guys store your footage? And how long do you keep it? As you can tell, I keep mine forever because I'm a hoarder. And so just to finish up that thread I started on the Rode Pros, we just plug the whole dock in and the files come up. And we just identify the files that are relative to this project, drag them, drop them over into our folder, boom. And I already dropped these over, so I'm gonna hit skip, which is the second stage. After you transfer them the first time, you just transfer them again just to make sure they're all there, boom, and drop it in. I also like to just always come in here and spot check a few things, and we shot this anamorphic, so it's all squeezed and in log. But I just like to double check, a few of these files and just kind of spot check and be like, okay, here we got something, okay, these kind of turned out, and just do a really fast check. So, like, okay, cool. What we thought we did turned out, and I'll look at focus and be like, okay, good, we didn't mess up focus too bad. when you're manual focus anamorphic, you can get soft and you can mess things up sometimes. But anyway, yeah, just kind of check things out. There's FX3. Just jump to the FX6, which is going to be mostly interviews, but we also did some B-roll on that too. Like, okay, let's listen to how it came out. Can I hear? Oh, it doesn't always preview all the audio channels. If you're FX6 has so many audio channels, 8 audio channels, so sometimes you don't get the audio preview in just a little basic preview app, but you pull it into your editing software and you can see all the audio. So sometimes that happens. I think it only pulls from channel 1 when it does these previews. We didn't have a mic in channel 1, we had a mic in channel 2 today, so won't worry about that. Anyway, there it is.